Okay, sorry guys, someone started calling me and then it just went weird and then it paused. So, ask me a question. Second Life, take 2. So, I don't think I was able to save the first one at all. So, quickly to recap, this is every Thursday I'm going to be doing this quick live called Ask Me a Question, and for that we've put in a form in the bio. So if you have any questions, you fill it up, we choose a question that's relevant to most people, that is popping energetically, and I'll do my best to facilitate it. Now, hi Komal, hi Agnes, hi Archana, thank you for coming on again. There's something weird before. So the question that we picked today was given by Agnes, and that was basically what is embodiment. Okay, and I already started talking a little bit, but the idea is your body is an animal and how are you treating your animal? Are you taught to create it from judgment, from what's right, from what's wrong, based on your point of view, based on a box decided by someone else that has never been present with your body, but is just something that was correct for their bodies but not yours? And are you really listening to the whispers of your animal, your body? Are you listening to the whispers, or are you trying to fix it into a box? Okay? How many people do you know are actually happy with their bodies? How many people are trying to get out of their bodies? How many people are trying to put their body in like this weird like shape and form? How many people are genuinely happy with their body where they don't judge it at all? Okay, so all of these things are what takes you away from actually being joyful and happy with your body. Okay, and okay, cool. 1 second. Hi, thank you for taking my question. I want to ask the difference between being and body, and what is the embodiment. For example, last night I slept, so I couldn't join our class at 11. Okay, cool. So, what's the difference between being and your body? Being is you. Okay, so relax, guys. Okay, so you are the being, and this body is your best friend on this planet. Okay, your body is more like an animal, doesn't really have a point of view about anything. It changes every 10 seconds. It wants to heal, contribute, be touched, loves like eating, likes good clothes, etc., etc., etc. That's been made wrong a lot in this reality. Your body is pretty much wrong, and especially if you're doing any sort of spiritual practices, that's one of the first things that they tell you, that your body is wrong and you need to get out of it. And so a lot of people get stuck in this weird space where they want to get out of it, but they don't, but they're judging it so much that it's just this, it's this weird confusion. Okay, so instead of creating your body from judgment, what if you looked at it from, okay, what does my body truly desire? What would my body like to look like? Where would my body like to eat today? Would it like to eat today? Because there's so many things we've decided that it has to eat at 2 o'clock and it has to eat at 6 o'clock, but you're not really listening to the whispers. Because I've noticed my dog, the way he eats is when he's hungry. Not at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. It's literally when he's hungry. And how much do we allow our bodies? And that's how they're listening to the whispers. That's how they're listening to the whispers. Are you listening to the whispers? Are you putting it in a regimen that is not joyful for you or your body? How much are you putting it into a exercising space where, you know, like in the morning I've seen people walk, like, and they're not having the joy of embodiment, because they're either in their heads and they've just decided they have to finish 30 rounds of this place. So they're not really enjoying that body, they're not really enjoying that walk, they're not really engaged with anything or everything. They're in their heads, they're probably thinking about I don't know what, maybe like a to-do list for their day or what, with it, thinking. And every time you're thinking, you don't have the joy of embodiment. The more you think, the less you'll have the joy of embodiment. Okay? And I guess I'll take your question, but it's more of a deeper question, which is what's the difference between your being and your body. Is you have to start getting a sense of that your body is like an animal and you are an infinite being with infinite choice. Okay, and what we tend to usually do is we tend to override our body's requirements based on things that we have decided, we have been taught, that people are telling you, etc., rather than listening to the whispers. Okay, so, and I have an upcoming class on Sunday, which is a clarity night on bodies, which is going to be like a 2-hour deep dive, clearing of all this confusion, all of the judgments, all of the projections. So how much are you creating your body based on other people's projections? That is big. Okay, so as a kid, right, like I've never been like thin. Okay, I've been like healthy in my own way. And I remember as a kid, whenever we would go, the one thing that was constantly projected at me was that I was fat, and that has stuck with me so much. And I'm not really fat, and there's no judgment there, right? I mean, being fat is not a judgment, but the way that projection, the way it was projected at my body, there's no way I can even change it. So the way you start creating is from these projections that other people have, and they have of their bodies that are projected at you. When they're not happy with of their bodies, they project at you. Okay, so how much are you creating your body based on other people's projections? How much are you creating your diet plan, your exercise, what the movement your body requires based on judgment of what's right and wrong? And what if your body has a whole different language, a whole different way of being, which is like an animal? It's not a fixed reality. It changes every single day. It doesn't want food at 2 p.m. every single day. It only wants food when it's hungry. It wants to drink when you're thirsty. You don't have to drink 1,000 liters of water every day because someone told you you need to have it. That's a little bit of an abuse to your body, okay? So, there's a lot of things that we're doing to our bodies that are based on boxes that, like literally, that are not true for your body. Okay? It's not. Medicines will also not work in you the same way. And I know I'm a doctor and I'm telling you these things, but like for example, my dog got a rash. He got wet eczema, right? And I'm talking about my dog because your body is an animal, okay? And he's giving me so much information about how to be with things. So he got eczema just about 2 weeks back, okay? And doesn't really bother them. They're like, yeah, whatever, I still want to go out. They don't, that was the first thing. They don't really like, the world doesn't end if they've gotten a disease. The world doesn't go crazy. They're like, okay, cool, I have this, whatever. I still want to have fun. I still want to go out. I still want to do these things. Why are you trying to put me, like, because what I was trying to do is, listen, don't go out because you don't want that to get infected, etc. So what I was trying to do is put a lot of my projections on my dog and his rash, and from what I read and what someone told me, etc. I was like, oh my god, he's going to take 4 weeks to clear, and it's going to take a month, it's going to take all these injections, it's going to take an antibiotic course. And I'm like, wait, all of this seems really heavy. I really need to ask my dog's body what it requires. And I got present, and I was also attending a Talk to the Animals class. So with like the facilitation there and the amazing tools that were given to me. So for the first time, I was like, you know what, I'm going to be present with my dog and its body. What do you require? And nothing. It literally said, listen, chill the fuck out. I don't require anything. Okay, the only thing I did was put the e-collar around his neck, that too only for a day or two because he was scratching it. But he didn't require the medicines. He did. I asked the body. I'm not being a fool. I'm being present with what his body required. And then what was supposed to apparently take 4 weeks, because that's what the vet told me, actually got cleared in 3 days. He didn't need the e-collar after a day, because I ran access body processes on him and really listening to the body's whispers, like, what do you require? And I ran body processes on him. I realized he's healing the earth. He's also picking up things in my body and healing other people with eczema that have this. There's so many things going on, and I was just clearing that, being present with it and not making it wrong. First where I went to fix that eczema was, okay, there's something wrong. No, this is actually his capacity. He has a capacity to heal, and he doesn't think of it as wrong. He doesn't have that point of view. That body also doesn't have a point of view. So from trying to fix it from something's wrong with his body to changing it, to flipping it, it's like, wait, what is the capacity here, and what does the body actually asking for and require? The whole thing went away in 3 days. Like, it's literally, it's completely dried out. I can see hair follicles. In maybe another month or even less, you will not even know that something happened, because it was quite a big thing on his face. So this is what it told me. First of all, our projections in the beginning that there's something wrong, and dire projections that, oh my god, something's really wrong and there's oozing pus, actually made it worse for a day or two. And when I stopped it, when I cleared it, it started changing. Second, his body doesn't really require the dosages of medicine that were prescribed. Most often than not, his body doesn't require it. And this is not this general consensus, don't have medicines, ask your body. Okay, it's required in some places. Okay, that was the second thing. Third was, I ran access body processes. I started listening to his whispers. I gave him space. Fourth is, I stopped stressing out and putting my stress on his body. Okay, so that's what you do when like a weird rash, or you suddenly start like coughing, you put more stress on your body by stressing out, rather than going, what's the capacity here? So these are the things that I learned from my dog within a period of 4 days, and the number of things that we do to our bodies is ridiculous. Sorry for my So joy of embodiment is not judging your body, realizing the capacities that your body has, not trying to fix it, not trying to make it right. Just be, have fun, listen to the whispers. You will never overeat. You will just be. You will probably not realize you don't even need to eat that much. So what else is possible? Okay? And I also wanted to read something that Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, put on about, like, I think he quoted it somewhere. I don't know if it's part of a book, but I picked it up, and it's been on my laptop forever as a sticky note. So I'm just going to read that out. So, you keep thinking that embodiment is just this body. The reality is that embodiment is this whole reality. If you're aware of this, then you will have awareness of everything around you, and an awareness that every molecule is in communication with you and a contribution to you. Would you be willing to have the whole universe contribute to you? Okay? And so if you exclude your body, if you exclude it, if you judge it, if you make it wrong, if you make the disease that your body has wrong, don't see the strength in it, it will not change. You will be stuck with it forever. and you will not have all of you, and you will not have the gift of being here. You will be stressed. Cool? So, hopefully I've given you guys some sort of a sense of where to begin, okay? Begin by not judging. Notice where you go into judgment and stop. Just see a big stop sign, and just ask, body, what would you actually like here? What would you actually desire here? And then listen to the whispers, okay? Listen to the whispers. Just stop judging, listen to the whispers. Cool? I hope this helped. If you guys have any questions or anything, please let me know, because it's a big topic. Bodies, there's a lot of things, okay? And if you are interested in really starting to develop the muscle of listening, thank you so much, Agnes. I'm happy you're there. And if you're willing to really build this muscle, please come for the clarity night, because it's 2 hours of clearing stuff, okay? And there are no prerequisites. You don't have, even if you've not done any access before this, it's fine. Okay, so cool. So there is no prerequisite. It's for 2 hours. It's on Sunday, I think. I've forgotten the time. Hopefully Komal can put it up. And if you have any more questions or anything from this you got from this call or the first one, and you want something cleared out, fill in the form. I will pick it up, and I will see you guys next Thursday. Bye-bye. Enjoy your body. Stop judging it. Ask what it desires, not what you think.